Well, how's everybody doing? What an awful shot. This shot actually hurts my eyes. I'm so sorry. I can't get audio. I cannot get audio. It's like 16 combinations of camera and options. This is the only one I've got. I'm going to go with my laptop. With my laptop camera, but it doesn't matter. It does matter. That's the worst shot I've ever seen. I hope everybody's doing good. Y'all almost didn't make it. I wasn't sure we were gonna. Okay, we've got audio. Oh, I've been working on this for an hour. I set up at 2. Try to get everything lined up, go on my channel, do a test. No audio, no combination would work. So anyway, how's my Leathercraft family doing? Looking at all the great names here. I know I'm a little panicked. For 45 minutes I've been trying to get audio to come up. Wouldn't do it. Derek Keys is with us. Derek, good to see your name pop up. Mini Maker. First in the shop today. Y'all come on in my shop. Make yourself at home. Anybody that's new, we got a great craft, got friendly people here. Actually, we're going to touch on that point. But James is with us. James, bless your heart. Seen a comment like that come up front. It means more than you know. Brian Wilson is with us. Yeah, here's to a great hump day. That's that's exactly right. Dean made it. Jerry King, hello everyone. Hope y'all are doing well, having a great day. Jerry, hope you are too. Thanks for being here. It means more than you know. Crappy day outside here. Just rainy, a little bit cold. Typical southern winter day. Great day to work on leather. Oh, it's a great day to be in the shop at the work table, isn't it? Daniel Rach, I do not mean to laugh at your pain. Black dye spill. Uh, at least any other color is pretty. The black dye, it sinks in. It's going to be there for days. It's going to be there. I'm so sorry to hear that. Sometimes gloves. Yeah, sorry. Every my laptop. Really? What is this? Like 1920? Right? We're actually devolving on the technology side. Anyway, let's see. Night for today's here. Cool. Thought yesterday. Thought it was Wednesday yesterday. Oh, that sucks, doesn't it? When your week's one day longer than you think it is. Oh man, I uh, I think I told everybody it's about a month back. I uh, I got up early, man. I'm gonna get on it. I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna get into work early, and I'm just gonna jam all day. I got in, started typing emails. About 11, I didn't get a single email back, and I'm starting to think, well, that's kind of rude, you know. But anyway, I'm working along and getting a lot done and jamming, having a great Monday. I go up, I go up to eat lunch, and my wife says, "Baby, what are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm at work. I'm gonna eat some lunch." She said, "It's Sunday." It was, well, no wonder nobody sent me an email back. I was thinking they're rude. No, they're not at work on a Sunday. So let's see. Carrie, 383 days, no caffeine, coffee. But also, Carrie, let's see, my back is hurting me really bad today. Not sure why. Carrie, I hope that's not an issue. I tell you, don't do anything without your back. Oh, and a sneeze. I've always heard the worst thing you can do for your back is to sneeze. Um, oh, Daniel Reach got leg armor coming together. Oh, that's right. We're in fair season. It is coming up very soon. It will be upon us. Oh, spring days at the Ren Fair. Oh, suit of armor, cold beer, mixing it up with friends. That's a lot of fun. That really is. So we're looking forward to that. Show season coming up too. All the craft fairs start showing up. So I hope somebody's got some good fairs going. I know a couple of y'all do. I do. I want to hear how they go. I'm anxious to hear with this economy how you're doing at craft fairs. Let's see. Excuse me. Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate that. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I did a shutdown and everything, and oh, who knows? Who knows? Makes me crazy. But panic time for about 45 minutes. Anyway, okay, sorry. I'll do my best not to shake my work table with my mouse hand. Oh, JR Times got something going there. Oh, nice. Like to hear more about that. 10 bracelets that a coworker asked for. JR Time, it's funny you say that because that's almost one of the points I want to make in our newcomers corner. I still haven't come up with a good name for that. I haven't put a lot of thought time in it, but that's exactly one of the points I want to make. I will come around to that. We'll come around to that. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, actually, but Last time I kind of got hung up on the script and wasn't watching the comments. And I don't know. A happy medium somewhere in there would be good, but and almost today I was almost late bringing this up because I'm reading comments. Oh, these are interesting. These are fun. Chuck, we have something going. You might want to pay attention here. So let's see. I'm gonna try to stay a little more up to date here. Uh, Black Pine Leather Company is with us. Chris Gould, good to see your name pop up, Chris. Hope you're doing all right. Oh, Susan M. There we go. Working on inventory for an upcoming craft fair in March, Hampton, New Hampshire, near the beach. Oh, I bet it's going to be a nice. That'll be a nice show. Very cool. Let's see. Tony McDaniel is with us. Tony, I'm so glad you feel that way. I'm so glad you feel that way. That means more than you know. I'm glad you like the videos, and I'm working hard to keep them coming. I'm a little bit ahead, but boy, that lead can shrink in no time. Take a day or two off, and I'm already behind. Anyway, oh man, Wood Burning Warrior doing a pirate show in April. Oh gosh, what are little leather things I can sew to sell? Y'all pitch in all kinds of options. I'm sorry. I still have my Canon camera set up and I keep look the lens is right over my really? What a great shot. Ooh, good. Yeah, high-tech shot you got going there, Chuck. Let's see, let's see, the Wood Burning Warrior. Oh, there's all kinds of things. Anybody that can think of little things that sell well at a show, pop them up there, particularly that are pirate themed. Oh, all kinds of cuffs and pouches. Belts always sell. Y'all put in some tips. It's hard for me to think of all of them. Sitting here trying to think of all this and watch the time in the script and all that. I wish I could. Yeah, it's never been a top-notch performer. Let me just say that. Let's say that right now. So let's see. Let's see, Tim Hubbard. Oh, we need to go to that. About to go home and make product for a rattlesnake roundup in Georgia. I have never been to one of those, but I hear about them regularly. Well, I hope it's a good show for you. Let's see. Oh, nice. Yamaha biker. This one hits home. Just finished up a dual multi-tool pancake holster. Heavy duty, but fits nice. That is going to last longer than we will. Probably all of us combined. But yeah, the dirt bikes. I used to ride a Husqvarna 350, woods bike, and that was always a problem carrying extra tools. I had tools taped all over my bike, and I had a good backpack on my body armor, but still, it was a mess. It was a mess always carrying because you don't need big tools out in the wood typically. Typically. Yeah, I say that. But anyway, but I hope that came out nicely. And even if it's not just for the dirt bike, but for work, that's very cool to be able to wear something we made. Other folks are going to see it. They're going to compliment on us. You know, there's a win-win-win situation. And I've got kind of a long rant here on that very point. I don't know if I should go into that or not, but maybe an attitude view because we as leather crafters, we really have a great craft. I mean, if we think about it, I love designing a product. I love take an idea and design it. We're going to add our dye colors, our spots, our hardware, our finishes. Are we going to paint, tool, stamp, antique, right? Top coat paint. Well, we can get a picture in our mind, and I love that part. I love the conceptual end of creating a project. But then we work on it and just have a blast working on it. You know, doing a pretty stitch liner with painting or tooling, and then to see it come out. That's a biggie, right? That's a biggie. But then let's take that even a step further. Let's give that or sell that. Yeah, and people that buy our product love them. People around us that we give these products to, they absolutely love them. And I mean, think about our craft. Win, 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 win. All the way through the whole process, it's a win, and we love doing it. This is a point that I thought of, and it's kind of a ethereal point, but let's see if you kind of see what I'm trying to explain here. Yeah, my vocabulary. Right. I have a great vocabulary. I don't appreciate what you're incinerating. Anyway, growing up, I was a drummer all the way back fifth grade. I started with a clarinet, right? And I remember this to this day. We were doing our spring concert, fourth grade, probably. 4th grade, I remember it like it was yesterday. Anyway, I played the clarinet. That's where I started, and I kept looking back at the drummers thinking, "Dude, that's where I need to be." So the next year I started drums, played all the way through college, played with bands, and, anyway, the point is, we moved to Pennsylvania one year from Houston. Total cultural shock, right? From Houston, Texas to Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Loved it. Best year of my school. Loved every minute. The point is, being a drummer, I had friends before school ever started. I've always talked to a lot of people that, move away and they come back and, I just didn't make friends. I wasn't happy there. Anyway, I had friends before school started. But being a drummer at that time, it was something cool. I was good at something cool, right? Leather's exactly the same thing. When we make something really cool and we wear it at work or at school, family events, all kinds of places, uh, the folks around us start to look at us a little bit differently because now I don't want to use the word mastered a craft by any means, but because we're good at something that's a little obscure, but obviously takes great skill, and care and knowledge and practice and experience. They look at us a little bit differently. I feel like there's a little bit more respect there. Does anybody agree on that, or is that just a Chuckism that went nowhere? And can we come back out of the woods and get back on the road? Right? It's a good point because with our leather craft, there's so many pluses, and it's hard to write them all down. Um, Another point that I want to bring up, which kind of made me start thinking about this, our neighbors next door. I wouldn't call us close friends, but we're pretty good friends. We got neighbors all the way around us. So on Super Bowl Sunday, I was over there saying hello, and Erin, Mark's wife, our neighbor said, "Hey, our dogs, they're dog people too. We're all dog people on this block." Anyway, that dog had chewed a corner in their upholstery or their sofa. It's a leather sofa. It's like one of the units. Um, and they said, "Is there anything we can do about that?" And man, the upholstery really isn't it's not my wheelhouse, right? It's not mine. So, but I looked at it, I thought, well, maybe, I don't know. I really want to help them out. So, all right, well, how about instead of trying to replace this part, which I'm not going to do, how about I make something like a slip cover? And I was working on this morning because I wanted to show it on the live because it's making a great point. So, boss, sorry, I did work on a personal project a little bit on the Weaver dime today, but in my defense, it was for a good reason because so I'm making just literally a slip cover because it's a centerpiece and it's broken on both sides. There's cushion, centerpiece, cushion. The problem is there's 2 drink holes there, and I don't wanna go pulling pieces and parts off their sofa, right? So I just did 2 drink holes there that's gonna fit, but one of the funny things about it, the stitch line, it was designed this way. It's like 3 stitches per inch. It's this enormous stitch. It's kind of a rustic look to it. Um, but I can't really tell if it was a white stitch and it's light faded, over time, or if it actually was a beige stitch. So I'm gonna go with the beige Ritza on 1.2 millimeter. Now, one of the things I learned on this, 1.2 millimeter Ritza is not going through a number 18 John James needle eye. It ain't gonna happen, right? Anyway, so my first thought was, I'm not gonna do 3 stitches per inch. That's absurd. Now I thought, well, you know what? That's what they want. To make it match, that's what we need. So I first off chiseled my flat chisel, thought, you know what, we're gonna give it a pretty stitch line, look just like a machine. Then I thought, that's not right. It's not right. So I went with every other hole with our 1/8 inch flat chisel, and it actually looks to me like it's gonna match pretty well. Now the fit, I measured best I could. I don't know how well this is gonna fit, but we're gonna see. I'll let you know because I'm gonna finish it tonight or tomorrow after work, boss, I promise, after work. But I'll let you know how it goes. We'll see if this actually fits. But the point is, I get to do something for a neighbor, literally out of the blue. Who knows what it would cost him to get somebody in here, to replace it fully, where something we can make looks absolutely great. And the upholstery side, not my wheelhouse, like I said, but I'm kind of stepping out of my comfort zone. So when we do that, we tend to learn things, good and bad, right? Good and bad. Like I said, with the Ritz of thread, I learned something already on this project. But now at the same time, it's called a comfort zone for a reason, right? That's exactly right. But by stepping out of that comfort zone, we start to pick up some extra skills and figure out things that are going to work and not work. But again, we get a little confidence, we get a little experience. But the biggest point, I get to do something for our neighbors. How cool is that? What a great craft. That's where I was going with all this. Now, on the other side of this, I'm only going to go a little bit further, only because this is funny, right? Okay. Who does this? Who takes an idea and just blows it completely out of the water? Okay. Perfect example, right? Our neighbor on the other side. Um, Tony, he said, Chuck, can you just make me a checkbook cover? Oh, yeah, I can make you a checkbook cover. I'm going to tool it. I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to. So what I did, I made this beautiful checkbook cover. This is like 6 or 7 years ago. I took, I had a piece of the croc embossed natural veg, which is a pretty tall leather, right? Those impressions. Anyway, so I made this gorgeous checkbook cover. This croc, I dyed it in a light brown. I did an antiquing on it, did a beautiful hand stitch line all the way around it. I handed it to him, and of course, he's like, wow, Chuck, that's really beautiful. That's great. I totally overdid that. That's not what he needed. I took the ball and ran with it, right? Like I always say to do. Well, in this situation, Tony just needed a simple checkbook. He didn't need something from Fifth Avenue. Anyway, is anybody else bad about that? I know I keep hitting my table, but is anybody else bad about just taking the most simple idea and just blowing it up to something so beyond what it started as that, okay, maybe it's just me. Maybe that's just me. But anyway, all right. So enough on that point. The outcome of that is we've got the best craft going in for so many reasons. For so many reasons. So I'm glad to see everybody jumping in here today. New folks, come on in. You are amongst good company. I haven't checked the fan page totals lately. Um, we're at 8,000 or a little more. So you're the member of an 8,000 person family with you've got family in every country on this planet. And we could go to any one of them and have a friend, have a good dinner, talk some leather. We've got a friend. So what a great craft we have. That's where we're going with all this. Okay. Can you tell I've had too much coffee today? Too much coffee followed by an hour of sheer panic because we got no audio. That's a bad combination. All right. So anyway, uh, let's see. Oh, Daniel. Okay, Daniel. Let's see. I don't think overdoing a project is a bad thing. That's right. I think it gives them something they can't get anywhere else. You're absolutely right. Uh, a conversation piece. I overdo it every time I get a chance. You do that too, right? Okay, we're gonna start a club. The overdoers. Yeah, jackets, coffee cups. We'll do a convention. Oh, and will it be a big convention? Because we're gonna overdo it, right? Daniel, thank you for that one. Uh and Yamaha biker. No, I hear you. My father-in-law likes my OCD when it comes to that stuff. Another win. Another win for us. Oh, the Ant-Man is with us. There we go. Hello, everyone from Southern Colorado. Snowed in at the moment with the missus and having a great time. Oh man, we never get that. We've once every 5 or 6 years we get a bad ice storm, or maybe there's a little bit of snow in there to make it pretty. Man, does anybody remember growing up sitting in front of the TV watching the crawl, waiting to see if your school was closed? Whether you Oh, and snow day. Anything's possible on a snow day, right? Oh, I wish I could see a little snow. We're not gonna have much this year. I don't know. Our bad down in the southeast, our bad weather comes in March because it always screws with us. It's always starting to get really nice and we're all yay, and then an ice storm slams us. So anyway, let's see. Oh, night for today. Okay, I tend to those overblown wood projects. I saw as I'm recutting a swivel knife project because I decided it needed to be deeper. That's right. I've done the same thing. You're exactly right. But it's our baby, you know. Let's do it right. Let's do it right. And again on that point, doing it right, I am notorious for cutting corners. Yes and no. Yes and no. But the point is when if there's something on a project I'm not happy with, If I just go ahead and finish it out, I'm happy with it. But if I back up and correct it, whatever it takes to correct it and then finish it, every time I look at that project, my first thought is, I did it right. And I will enjoy that and think about that for years to come. I'm bad about doing that, but once in a while it happens. And every time it happens, I go, oh, to do that every time. Yeah, okay, well, we've met. So, okay, let's see. Oh, fast group. Sunny and warm here in southern Georgia. Oh, I bet it is. I bet it is. We're kind of not really cold. It's just blah, just blah. But again, great day to work on leather. Great day to be in the shop. Y'all, I'm glad you're here with me. How nice. Let's see. Stephen Ramsey. Glad you're with us, Stephen. Absolutely. Jump in, join in, put some comments up, and bless your heart. Very much so. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Dwight Tovey. Let's see. There we go. I just finished an overdone project. Oh, good. Let's hear all about it. Just give me just a second. There we go. Talking it. All right. I just finished an overdone project, so now I have to take a break, at least until I figure out what to work on next. Another overblown project, right? Yeah. That's excellent. Uh, Oh, man. Let's see, Chip Conrad. Okay, new to leather, primarily do woodworking. Is there a leather that will glue to an exotic wood without feeling wet after glue dries? I contact cement would be my choice, but the wood side, you're the pro on that one. But let me toss this out here. Glue, a leather is a great material for glue. It's very porous. In fact, our white glue, just the leathercraft cement, I'm always oddly surprised at how strong that glue is. Um, Chip, I wish I could help on that side, but we've got some good woodworkers here. Somebody will chime in with a good answer for you. But again, Chip, too, our crafts are parallel, almost identical. In cutting, we do edge work, we punch holes, we do decorations, carving, tooling, stamping. Oh, there's so many parallels. The die and the top coats, it's all very, very similar. So, oh, Chip, you're going to take to it like a moth to flame. Absolutely. Oh, let's see, JR Time, wind and more wind here in West Oklahoma. JR Time, I understand that. I've been through Kansas, North Texas, Kansas, Oklahoma. I can understand that. There's not much there to block the wind to start with. Sorry, y'all. Let's see. Okay, JR Time, thank you for pitching in. Excellent, y'all. Everybody pitch in a good answer there. Let's see. Nan Parsons, 80 here in North Florida. Oh, and I bet it's beautiful. Oh, North Florida is just gorgeous. I love the Panhandle, and that section right down the middle of Florida is absolutely beautiful. Uh, oh man, Stuart Walters. I just happened to see it. Hey Chuck, favorite local or chain restaurant? Oh man, Steve, that's like saying try to pick your favorite song. That's a tough one. Culver's. We just got Culver's down here up in Illinois 20 years ago. I went to a Culver's and loved it. Ah, we have them here in Atlanta now. Oh, Chick-fil-A is one of my all-time favorites. If you can get in the door, man, but they're good and they're fast. Oh, man. No, that one's hard. I know now we're talking food, right? Well, we tapped the keg on that one, didn't we? Okay, so food to come, but Stuart, always a good question. Well, one I'm gonna have to put a little thought into because there's so many great possibilities. Um, let's see. Oh, all kinds. Y'all, forgive me for not being able to respond to each and every comment. They come in too fast. Thank you. I talk about some job security right there. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I at some point through my early career, I lost a job and went and just started washing dishes. Just I took a quick job washing dishes. And I remember telling the chef, he was kind of the kitchen boss. I think he came back with his just dishes everywhere. And I'm just hauling butt, washing fast, washing fast. And I just pointed, I said, "Man, that's called job security." And it is. It really is. So y'all, thank you for this. Thank you for making this what it is. So, um, oh yeah, Chris Gould got the heat on, got a little frost, got the heat going, got some tunes going, hot cup of coffee. Oh, sounds like it's workbench time, doesn't it? Let's see. Oh, Dwight Tovey kicking in some answers there. Nice. Good. Yes. Excellent. Y'all, thanks for pitching in good questions back and forth. Thanks for great questions and answers and comments. Absolutely making this what it is. Um, let's see. Let me see if I can get a little more caught up. Let's see. Let's see. J2G Leather Goods, parked in Monticello, Utah. Oh, in the snow, working on flip clip wallets. Well, that sounds kind of nice. That sounds kind of nice. Very cool. Let's see. Dean, sounds like nap time to me. It's always nap time. I'd take a nap anywhere, anytime, absolutely. So let's see. Oh, y'all got things going here. I'm not gonna throw a wrench into this. Uh Carrie always got a good laugh there for us. Um, I want to read these. This is good information. I'll read all these later after the live. I'll spin back through this. So forgive me if I don't see your comment. I certainly will later. But if I miss a question, evidently it doesn't seem to be an issue. We've got some good answers coming. So, yay for the live. That's what this is about. Exchange information. Who knows how many people we can save for making a bad mistake simply by tossing out there something, just some little fact, some little trick, some little tip that we don't even think of. We don't even think of, but for the new folks, worth its weight in gold. Absolutely. Um, let's see, Daniel answering all the questions here. Nice. Looks like I have a co-host, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Mike Thompson. Mike, did you put in a comment earlier about a fly swatter? I made the fly swatters with white oak from church pews and basket stamped heads. Saw it on Weaver. Oh man. Oh, I know. Talk about. I mean, where else you going to see a fly swatter like that other than in a leather shop? That's right. I keep wanting to make those as gifts because those are cool, right? With stamp designs or tool designs, we can really do some nice stuff. Let's see. Let's see. Daniel Freyer. Daniel's with us. Let's see. Has anyone else tried mixing the neutral antique with Angelus neon paints? I tried and the results came out pretty bad. Um, I have not, Daniel. I have not tried that, and I assume you probably worked on your proportions, your mixes a little bit. I'll give that a shot and see if I come up with any better luck. I'll give that a shot. I think I got a couple over there. If I don't, I'll order a few, play with them, and see what happens. So maybe my time will help out a little bit. Um, let's see what else we got going. Let's see, Mike Thompson with us, Dean. Dean is with us. Daniel, yeah, y'all. Thanks for being here. Okay, so let's do this just so we don't get too far behind like I did last week. I'm going to jump over to some script here. So let's see. Yeah, we're in that long no holiday stretch. Oh man, February. But we're coming up on spring, baby. We are doing that. So let's see. Yeah, we talked about overdoing on gifts, right? We've been over that. We've been over. So let's see. Okay, one quick trick for the new folks, and I don't have a lighter anywhere in my shop. What I was going to say is from time to time, and this is an easy one. Our when we're hand sewing, our needles are going to get fouled. They're just going to fill up with wax. Odd point. This hasn't happened to me since I started using the Ritza thread. But the trick is if you take one of your sewing needles and just hold a lighter on it for just like 1 second and then clean it with a rag, it is going to be perfectly clean. It's going to look brand new. So, yeah, for so long I tried to, with the other needle, try to get that. Nah, just a lighter quickly. It'll burn that wax off and it'll look like brand new. Now, one point. I forgot what my point was. Oh, yes. Okay, sorry about that. I know my wife says that's irritating, so I'm gonna do my best not to let that happen, but I mentioned just a second ago that I don't have issues with my wax building up on my needle with using the Ritza thread. Um, and I have not thought about that. For so long, I worked with the thread from the general retail store, and I always noticed that it always felt just exceptionally waxy, to the point where if I would use the heavier thread to sew, say 6 or 8, 10 inches, I'd have to come back in with something like a soft brush or a suede brush to try to keep wiping that wax off of my stitch line. It'd come off and it'd look fine, but it was kind of a pain in the butt. Well, even with this is again one of the spools I have left over from those days. But I can take my finger and run it down just 5 inches of thread, and I got a little ball of wax there. Okay. How about the Ritza? Let's jump over to this. So the Ritza thread, love it, my favorite. Let's do the same thing. Nothing at all. I had not thought about that until this morning. So in this, I had to clear out my needle, the eyes on my needles. You know, that just occurred to me. I've not had that problem since I switched over to the Ritza. Definitely a wax thread, and I can feel it. Now, if you're new to leathercraft, this this will help. Just something I've learned along the way. Um, it's hard to sew leather with unwaxed thread, like just with your standard sewing thread, simply because the wax helps keep your stitch tight as you sew along. If you ever try to sew with just some unwaxed sewing thread, you'll see exactly what I mean. It just your stitch line, it just doesn't tighten down. Whereas with the wax, you do one hole, tighten it, it stays. Do a hole, tighten it, it stays. But with regular sewing thread, you're actually sewing about an inch. You're actually tightening about an inch back from where you're actually sewing. So the wax thread right there alone, biggest help in the world. But the Ritza, it doesn't seem to be so overloaded with wax. And that's another good point. But just a side rant there, just a tip, a trick for the new folks. With a lot of us that have a little more experience, we do a lot of things that we never think about, that we never think would be such a big help to the new folks, the beginners, because it's just become second knowledge. And my boss tells me this all the time. You know, think back what tripped you up. And I use that statement now quite a bit, but what tripped you up in the beginning? Where were your problems? What answers did you find? And I try to do my best to think about that when I'm working on the videos or we're doing the lives. It's just hard to keep that in mind because they've become so second nature. It just I cleaned the needle, I moved on. I never think that that would be a good trick for somebody that's new. So anyway, um, and for y'all too, if there's stuff that tripped you up here at the beginning, um, things that were confusing to you, or you found an easy answer, drop it in here. Because again, anybody that's new, who knows how much headache and trouble you could save them to the point of a new person getting so frustrated that they just walk away. They give it up and walk away. When all honesty, there was a very simple, easy fix to that. A tool that might work or a better size needle or thread. Like I said, the 1.2 millimeter Ritza, it ain't going through the number 18 John James. There wasn't a lot of unhappiness because I kind of expected that, but there we go. Just if you've had trouble doing that, me too. So you're not alone. So let's see. Uh, oh yeah, Steve Milford. I got some horsehide butts. Very dense leather. Very dense leather. Great for small projects. Absolutely. Close grain. It's sturdy. Yeah. We don't. I've had that question a lot. You know, is there horse leather out there? Yeah, there is. It's just not as common as the cow because we eat the cows, we don't eat the horses. We ride the horses, we eat the cows, right? But it is out there, but it's a very dense leather. It was much more common in the 1800s and early 1900s because horse that was everything. That was our transportation, right? So not so much common anymore, but you do find it and you do see it now and then. Shark skin too makes me think. A horse hide makes me think of shark skin as well. I've never worked with it. I've seen it and it's beautiful, but it's supposed to be exceptionally dense and durable if I remember correctly. I'm getting to a point in my career where I'm forgetting stuff. Literally starting to forget things that I absolutely used to know. Suits armor. I used to could name every part of a suit of armor, the French name for every I'm losing that. I'm absolutely losing that. Oh, well, I guess what's the alternative, right? Okay. So, let's see, is that, Al Miguel? I'm glad you're with us, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Please excuse me, anybody, if I mispronounce your name. It's the rudest thing I can do. Um, but nonetheless, I'm glad you're with us. Very nice. From Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Our friendly neighbors to the north. Very nice. Let's see. Okay, Black Pine Leather Company. Got some good information there. Dan, man, I'll eat a horse. Yeah, evidently there's a very good cut of it's like a fillet that's supposed to be the absolutely better than the cow. I have heard that somewhere along the way. Nah, Carrie, that was another piece of leather using cow's leather. Let's see. My neighbor ate a horse last year. Okay. My horse ate a neighbor. That's we have a horse. Yeah, my wife has a I don't mean to say we. There is no we about it. It's my wife's horse. But he's a good horse, just a thoroughbred. Happy horse, friendly, healthy, fun to ride. He's a good horse, absolutely. Uh let's see, Kinsey Shankle's with us. Oh man, let's see, kids. When the semester is over, I plan to try to make my own book binding and maybe even make my own paper if it goes well. But I'm excited to see how it ends up because there are so many options for decor. Kinsey, I mean, you're right. That's to me, that's almost a hurdle with a project. What's the right dye color, hardware color, stamp, antique, paint, thread, top coat combination? What? Yeah, right. So the right there alone, that's 36 possibilities. Right there alone. Actually, it's probably 36,000 or a million if we start adding up the colors of dye, top coats. Literally, if you ever do the math, because and what makes me think about this, we were doing the stamp series. Um, okay, so I think we have like in our nice line, we've got two lines of stamps, and they're both great. They're both great. I use both, but we've got an inexpensive and we've got a little bit more expensive. Love these tools, and in my opinion, they should cost twice what they do. Absolutely love the tools, love construction, the quality, but also love the designs. So anyway, the math, like if we have 80 tools, each tool can say we can use each tool four different ways. Like we can use it with itself, butt it side to side, top to top, and anyway, probably more, sometimes less, but right there, right, 240 possibilities. Okay, now there's 80 stamps. So let's do 80 times 4, right? Okay, now we're literally getting into the 5 million options. Yeah, I mean, it's right. We're going to do all those? Probably not. But the point is, what's the best combination? What's the best of those 5.7 million possibilities? What's the best combination for my project? And the bigger problem is we see that project come out and it came out beautiful. Love it. Love the hardware. Okay, now I want to see it in mahogany. Well, now I want to see it in walnut, but I'm not going to antique that one. I'm going to do a blue paint. That's my biggest problem with a project. And I don't want my projects to look like a garage sale. Right. Every we overdo it. That's part of so evidently I am guilty on this one because yeah, I kind of do that a lot. But the point is, I'm trying not to or I don't want my project to look like it's every technique I know. And it's just so overblown that, again, it looks like a garage sale or yard sale. So anyway, off on another rant. Just I hope it's at least interesting. At the very least, I hope it's interesting. But at least somewhere in here there's a good point. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, I know every time I touch my mouse, my table shakes. I don't know. I just don't know. All of a sudden, no audio. No audio, and it looks like it, but I mean, talk about a Spielberg level camera shot. Yeah, right. Okay, okay. Uh oh gosh. Okay, JR time. Chuck, could you possibly say anything to Scott Perrier question up there. I'm not sure many of us check can answer that one. Man, JR Time, it is really hard to go back up, but let me try this. Oh, yeah, okay, Scott, my friend wants me to make a saddle. How difficult is it for a first timer? Been a hobbyist for 7 plus years. It's a tough one. That's a tough one. I've never made a saddle. I've never made a saddle. I understand from multiple sources I have more than enough skills to do it, but I'm not gonna make a saddle off a YouTube video or a book. In my opinion, you need to make a saddle with somebody that knows that what they're doing because there's all like the cantle alone, all kinds of little tricks and tips. A book probably going to help you out. Stallman really made a good book. I I think if you're making it by yourself, you're going to have a hard time with it. If you're making it with somebody with a little bit of experience, I think you would do a wonderful job and would absolutely learn to make a saddle. There's a lot of tricks to it, like the Blevins buckles. Um, Things you need to be familiar with. The saddle tree particularly, and sizing that to both horse and rider. There's a lot to it. And one of the tricks I've always heard, like the shearling on the bottom of the skirting, you have to cut that from the same direction. You have to cut the 2 pieces from the same direction because if the nap is reversed, the saddle is gonna work off the horse, literally. Yeah, that's one of a million little tricks to making a saddle that, in all honesty, I only think is gonna come from somebody that really knows what they're doing. So, Scott, man, I mean, talk about setting your sights high, gold star, gold star. But at the same time, man, give it a shot. Jump in there. I would definitely go. Stallman, I think, has a good book on making a saddle. And I love the Stallman books. If I ever wrote a book, that's what I would like to do. It's because you've got the copy, you've got the pictures, but then you've got little tips everywhere. And it's like you could read that book 5 times, go back, and you find something you never saw before. I love his books. Get to see his workbench up in Sheridan, Wyoming at the museum. Um, Man, Scott, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't have a good answer for you on that one. And I'm sorry to say that. On one hand, I say dive in. But on the other hand, what kind of tree? What size seat? What horse is this going to fit? I'm not necessarily wanting to make one to fit a horse. I just want to make a saddle to display in my house. That's what I would like. But I'm kind of shortchanging it there. If I'm just making it to go on a stand, I'm not doing it right. Anyway, somebody has a good answer for Scott. Pitch it in there. I'm not qualified to answer that question. I really am not. Let's see. Okay, Diane Man. Let's see. As someone who lives in cattle country, yeah, I'm trying to find a saddlery apprenticeship at the age of 53 to 54. I don't doubt that you can find it. There's saddle schools. They're I wouldn't. They're kind of expensive, and you go for like a month or 6 weeks. You go there and you take a class on making saddles. I'd kill to do that. I would love to do that. But as an apprenticeship, I don't. Surely there's somebody around you, some saddle maker that might take you under their wing. Yeah, there is, and stop calling me Shirley, right? You might ask around. The Saddler's Journal, Leathercrafters and Saddlers Journal. I would go to their website because that's the heart of the saddlers right there, and you'll see. You might very well find somebody close to you that could do that. You know what? You don't know unless you try. You don't know. You put that first foot out there and no telling where it's going to take you, right, Bilbo? Right? Anyway, so see if that helps. I don't know how much it is, but I can't imagine there's not someone within at least 100 miles of you that would do that for you. So the trick's finding them. That's probably it. So let's see. Is that Shane Cessna? Shane, good to see your name pop up. Museum replicas is where I bought most of my weapons. They used to be when I had my small business. They were my biggest customer. I had, I think at any given time, I had 66 products in their catalog. Great people. Um, I don't know, COVID messed them up. COVID really took a bite out of them. Like everybody, that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, to shut down everything. It hurt them badly. They're in Conyers, Georgia. It's called Museum Replicas Limited. Um, they have a collection called the Battle Cry collection, and I think you can see the bastard sword, a dagger, and a horseman's axe over there. And let's see, I got the William Wallace. Oh, it's hard to see, but behind that post, there's a William Wallace blade, and they actually engraved my initials on it. They're affordable. Um, they're affordable and well made and beautiful. Very. I used to know the guy that designed all their swords, and he got one. Every sword he designed, they gave him one. His house, every wall was covered in swords and armor and helms, and oh, oh. Anyway, for folks that like the swords and the armor in the period, man, that was cool, Bruce. Man, if you're out there, thanks for inviting me over to your house. Let's see. Yeah, okay, Shane. Yes, on that you're they have great stuff, but they're a little expensive. They used to be. They got bought out, but they used to be in the early days when I was dealing with them. They made everything in house. All their blades came from Italy, every one of them. I've got one or two left that were the blades from Italy, and they'd assemble every bit of us in their shop. Highest quality, but the most affordable price out there. Absolutely. It's a little bit different now. Um, but yeah, the problem is wall hangers. And you see them, they're just overdone. Yeah, they're overdone. The Conan sword, let's move on. The Conan sword is so overblown, it's ridiculous. I would have bought one 30 years ago, but it's like 5 feet long. The guard is like this big. The handle is about that. It's just ridiculous big. It's just, anyway. All right, that's enough of that because we're supposed to be talking about leather. I haven't even looked at the clock. 3:47. Okay. Uh, well, Jason Gross, please don't apologize. Let's see, Mr. Dorsett, sorry to cut in. Man, you could jump in anytime. Absolutely. But thank you so much for your channel and tutorials. Bless your heart. I recommend your tutorials to others, and they have been very helpful as I develop the hobby. Jason, bless your heart, first off, for putting that in there. Means the world to me. It really does. But secondly, sounds like you're having fun with it. When? When on that one. I hope you love it. I hope your friends love it, and I hope you make some beautiful stuff. Have a great time doing it. So many pluses there are. But Jason, thanks for jumping in there. Absolutely. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Uh, let's see, Grandpa's Place. Okay, your issue with the pencil not showing up on camera, find a 2B or 4B pencil. It makes darker lines and will be easier to see on camera. That's a good tip. Thank you for that. I'm gonna jot that down. I'm gonna see if that helps. I'm gonna see if that helps because the best thing on camera is a pen. What a bloody damn mess a pen is on leather. Ugh. So, oh, and a Sharpie is great. Yeah, the only downside is the line is that wide, right? So if you use a Sharpie on a pattern, oh, it could be a quarter inch smaller, it could be a quarter inch larger, 3/8 maybe, who knows? But yeah, good sharp pencil, that's the thing on patterns. Um, so okay, that's a good tip. Good tip. I've got that written down. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Uh, Okay, JR time. Yeah, helping out Shane, and it sounds like a good answer. I think that's exactly what I would have said. Let's see. Okay, Shane, let me mention this because this thought crossed my mind today too while I was working on the script. Let's see. The response is no, but it's the difference between let's see. jump down. No, it isn't too dark, but the dye rubs off on everything. Okay, it shouldn't. It shouldn't rub off. Now, everything we can do, we can only do 99%. It's leather, it's dye. It goes in, it's going to come out. The point I want to make is this. In my leathercraft life, I've been at it. I'm 60, so probably 43 years. I started somewhere in college, maybe. Um, in that time, I've had one battle of bad dye. Yeah, you see why it takes so long for me to make a video, right? I've had one bad bottle of dye, and it was a disaster. It just was an accident. I bad batch. It got shipped wrong. They replaced it immediately. Love fibings, but it was just real heavy on the dye powder. So no matter how many times I rubbed that piece of leather, it rubbed off, and I mean bad. I Guy that worked with me came in and said, "What happened to you?" Because I had black, lost a whole order. Anyway, replaced, taken care of. Love those folks. The other one was a bad can of saddle lack. Now take this into account. This is over 40 years. I've had one bod. I can't get it out because it's this. I've had one bad bottle of dye and one bad bottle of saddle lack. Return them. They'll fix it. I'm not saying that's your issue here, but where I'm going with this is there could be a couple of problems. First off, if you're using the regular, it just says leather dye. It's a good dye. It's a good dye, but it's a powder-based dye. It's about a, it's a, I know I'm trying to squeeze all this in because it's a powder-based dye stuff. So that powder, when that carrier, that alcohol goes in, wicks, as that dries, it's going to leave powder. It's the way it is. It's not that bad. We can rub it off. That's why I'm saying you might have a bad dye. Don't hold me on that. I'm just guessing here without seeing it. But um, try the pro dye. Now, if it's doing that with the pro dye, there's a problem with the dye. I would bet I would bet on it. But the pro dye is an oil-based dye stuff. So therefore we don't have that powder. So therefore it wicks more completely into our leather project, thus less rub off, which is that's like sin number one to a leather crafter is rub off. We don't want our stuff rubbing off on people. So maybe try the pro. It may be a bad bottle of dye. Um, I just can't think of anything else that it may be. I'm sorry that happened. It does happen from time to time. But yeah, the outcome there is it should not be rubbing off like it sounds like it is. So that's why I'm kind of maybe thinking bad dye. It's happened to me, but very rare. Fibings, great company. Love them. Love every product they produce. So, uh, oh, let's see. Okay. I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name, and I'm not going to make an attempt. That would be rude, but I'll have it next week or next time we're together. But can you make a video for a leather book cover? We've got one way back. It was way back in the beginning. It was a portfolio. It's a journal cover. And we tooled some feathers on it. Um, See if that one helps. But I sure would like to do. I mean, there's been some on the fan page that are just fantastic. So thank you for mentioning that. Let's bring that up and let's do a different journal cover or book cover. Do something maybe a step or two up from that. So thank you for bringing that up. Absolutely. Uh oh, Shane. Okay, Shane. Sounds like you might have an answer to your problem there. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. Yeah, Dan the Man's with us. Dan the Man, glad to see your name pop up. Glad you've joined us today. Uh Heather Tuttle. Heather, that's a big one. Gloves. I've never done now. No, that's not right. I made a pair of like welding type gauntlet gloves like 2 years into leathercraft, 40 something ago. Yeah, I know. I keep dating myself here. Gloves are tough. Gloves are tough. Now it kind of depends on what kind of a glove you're talking about. Ladies driving glove, like a welding glove, work glove. Boy, I want to make a pair of deerskin gloves so bad. All right. So I tell you what, Heather, we're going to put that on the list. We're going to put a pair, just like a good pair of work gloves. If we can, if like with most of our videos, if we can get a feel for that, then anybody that watches that can work in their own direction and probably fine tune to more of what they're looking for. But it just makes me think. I got a pair of gloves upstairs, deer gloves, work gloves, none better, none better. They wear out. These two fingers wear out all the time for me. But all right, Heather. Um, oh, men's driving gloves. I don't know if I have that skill level. That's fashion. And I don't know if I have that skill level. But nonetheless, you brought it up. It's on the list. I'll see your comments later. Absolutely. Let's put that on the list because maybe it's not as difficult as I'm thinking. I'm thinking like small stitch, right? Form fitting, elastic band, oh, or just a small, like the old driving gloves with the little band with a little buckle on it. Okay. Okay. Now you've got my interest up. Okay. All right. So gloves, it's going to go on the list and I'll just see what I'm capable of doing. And if I am, then we are. And I'll certainly let you know that. Oh, nice, Heather. Good one. Um, yeah, always we've got a list. And the boss sends me this every time I say, "Hey, you got any new ideas?" I got the list. I mean, it's 3 pages long. There's so many things. I've got a board over there which is like the top 20, that I want to go to next. I've just got there's so many project possibilities. There are literally more possibilities I think that we can do in a day over the course of our existence. It is. So anyway, I always ask the boss, "Hey, you got any good ideas?" Not because I'm out of ideas, which I'm worried that's what she thinks. "Hey, Chuck, you've got this big list." Well, I work for her, so she knows me, right? But I ask more because she always comes up with great ideas. Things I would never think about. We just did one on an eyeglasses case. I never I mean, I see them pop up now and then. I have a pair. I have one. Never thought about it. But on the same time, but at the same time, when she sends me something like that, I almost feel like it's a challenge. Not from her. She's not challenging me to, make this. Nah. But for me, it becomes a challenge because, hey, I've never made one of those. Or I'm a little familiar with this, but I've never done one. Chessboard. Perfect example. I kind of never would have thought about that. But the boss says, "Hey, we've had some comments on making a game board or more specifically a chess or checkers board." Boom. Okay. Oh, game on, right? Game on. When we get that project idea, not necessarily the design, the conception, but just the idea, the product itself. Oh, baby, game on. Game on, right? So so anyway, that's why I typically ask the boss, "Hey, you got any good ideas?" And she's always coming up with things I never would think about. I just never would think about. So anyway, oh, and here's Chris Gould. Gloves, yes, please. Haven't found a good pair for shooting. Oh, Chris is a member of a gun club. Yeah. Um, that will fit my arthritis hands. Even another additional point there. Uh, oh, Dan the man. Funny you say this, Dan, because just the other day, wrote up on my board drummer stick bag. Duh. I'm, I've got my drum set over there. Neil Peart level. No, not Neil Peart level quality, just Neil Peart level quantity. Yeah, yeah. You know what style I play? What's on sale? That's exactly right. But a cymbal bag. How many times have I took a bolt and just, with a little felt, right? Put a little felt between each of my cymbals, and now I've got a stack of cymbals this high that if it falls, it is going to cut off a toe. I've always thought that. The cymbal bag. Absolutely. Good idea. Good idea. So thank you for that one. Nice. Um, all right. Oh, it looks like I'm current. Oh, and it's 3:59. Oh, crap. What happened? Okay. So let's do this. So I can keep my job here. Got a long list of videos coming out. I hope they're good. I hope they're good. I'll leave that up to y'all. Um, but also, okay, so we're gonna go over a minute, and I'm sorry about that. Okay, anyway. Notes from the boss. All right. So again, retail store, we're going to have a big grand opening. It is going to be a to-do. Talking about teaching classes, having some demos going to be a food truck there. Anyway, I don't know all the my I'm I don't work in Ohio. I'm in Atlanta. Anyway, so I'm kind of just right. I, anyway, anyway, we're gonna have a big to do. That's all that needs to be said. All right, it's May 11th, 12th, and 13th. Um, the 11th is a Thursday, 13th is a Saturday, and I think we're only up until noon on that Saturday. But I'll be there. We're gonna have a great time with it. Okay, let's see. First off, happy Valentine's Day, right? And I kind of, because of the sheer panic of not having audio, I kind of didn't think about it. But I hope everybody had a good Valentine's Day. I heard a comedian, great statement, said, Valentine's is a holiday that smacks around a relationship until it talks. All right, so news from the boss. Um, okay, we officially have all Ohio travel bag hardware on our website. I don't know if everybody's familiar, but we acquired Ohio Travel Bag. They have been the name in travel bag and purse and bag and everything hardware since like 1941. Their catalog, I remember I bought stuff from OTB a long time ago. Their catalogs, when they were printing them, were about that thick. They were like 500 pages of stuff. Okay, we've got a video. I did a leather element. I don't know if it's a leather element or regular video or project video format, but on some OTB closures because we've been needing them so long. Since the day I walked in, I know I'm talking fast. Since the day I walked in the door, I've been screaming for closures. We got them. We got them. In fact, I'm going to do another video because we did the basic closures, 6 or 7, and then the next one, the fashion, the higher level, they're gorgeous. So that's also on the list for a video. But anyway, so we have all the OTB stuff on our website. Um, product of the week, we got to do this one because the little snap that everybody forgot. It just, and I'm not pointing fingers because I do the same thing. Let's have a show of hands. Who hates a line 20 snap? Okay, I'll be the president of that club. I hate line 20 snaps. Who has successfully each and every time set a line 20 snap? Yeah, I don't see any hands. Yeah, right. Segma snaps. They are so easy to set and they work on our lighter weight leathers. It's a great replacement for a line 20. We've got these in all kinds of finishes. In fact, right there, I've got the antique brass. I think that's called pewter, and then either gunmetal or antique nickel. They're so easy to set, and they work so well. It's a snap we see everywhere, but I don't use them because up to the time I started working with Weaver, I had the crappy Segma snaps, and they suck. Let's just put that out there. What happens is when we set the cap, that's the female side, the cheap ones, it crushes in, so the snap won't bite. Okay, you take a cedar, literally a stamp tool cedar, and you got to kind of open it up a little bit. If you go 1/1000th of a millimeter too much, now it doesn't bite, and the snap is absolutely useless. I have yet to have a bad set on a Segma snap from Weaver. I really need to start using those. But okay, one more point. Because, and another one, I forget, decorative cap line 24s. These are cool. Okay, so, well, first off, cross, buffalo, floral, parachute, Celtic knot, shotgun shell, and compass rose. We can build a project around one of these snaps. So, how about that for a cuff, for a show, for a pirate show? Just a simple cuff with a compass rose snap. Cannot fail to sell. Y'all, I'm going to wrap it up because we just keep going. I just talked too much, but I almost feel like I kind of stayed over here a little bit more today. I hope that helps. I hope it helps, but I hope it's good information. That's the biggest point. I hope it's a fun hour. I hope we laugh a little bit. I hope we get some good information, some good answers. We get to toss out some great comments. Also, I'm going to leave this open for just a minute after we close out. If there's something on here that You wanted me to see it, I didn't, and I apologize for that. Drop it in. We also have the fan page. If you're not familiar with it, it's the Chuck Dorsett fan page on Facebook. Oh, you got to join and just see some of the prettiest work. For new folks, great place to get a question answered quickly. But let me say this for the new folks. Put your first project up there. Put one of your first projects up there. You're going to get some oohs. You're going to get some ahs. You're going to get some confidence. You'll probably get a trick, a tip. You'll see. You're with a great group of people here. I love y'all. To be honest with you, I love going through the comments on the fan page. So, y'all, we're going to wrap it up here. It's like trying to leave a family or friend event. You know, you say bye, y'all for 20 minutes before you finally leave the house. We're not going to do that. No, yes, we are. We've already done that. We've already done that. So, anyway, well, y'all, it has absolutely been a pleasure. I hope y'all feel the same way. I hope y'all feel like this is worth your time. Bridget is with us. I see all these names pop up. Babs is with us. Y'all, please forgive me if I didn't see your name. Kay Mersman is here. Robert Dorn, thanks for being with us. Thanks for being with us. I hope it's worth your time. I really do. I hate these stupid things. I hope it's worth your time, and I hope you get something out of it because I tell you what, I sure do. I love every minute of this. So, y'all, leave this open for a minute. We'll get together in 2 weeks. I'll do my best to have a bunch of stuff to talk about. In fact, there's a couple of things we didn't even get to, but we'll talk about those next time. So, in all honesty, I love y'all. Love spending every minute with you. This is the pinnacle of my week. From here, I just coast. Absolutely. So, y'all have a great evening. And I see all the names popping up: Mike, Babs, Robert, Debbie, Chris. Been a pleasure. It really is. Love y'all. Have a great evening, a great second half of your week. Have a great weekend. Weekends are coming up. Live for those, right? Hope you have something great on your work table. And anything that you work on between here and next week, let's talk about it next week or put it on the fan page. Love to see it. And then we'll talk about it next week. Give y'all a big kudos for some beautiful work. So, thank you for every bit of this. I'll look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. So, we're right. Good luck with your projects. We got to work that one in there, right? So, all right. Well, love y'all. Have a great evening. Thanks for everything. Bye, y'all.